I never believed in monsters. Growing up in a small town in Alaska, I was more accustomed to the howling winds and the icy landscapes than tales of mythical creatures lurking in the shadows. But that all changed one fateful winter night. It was a bitterly cold evening, the kind that seeps into your bones and chills your very soul. The snow-covered streets were deserted, and the only sound was the distant howling of wolves. I had just finished my shift at the local diner and was making my way home, hoping to escape the biting cold as soon as I possibly could. As I walked through the desolate streets, a strange feeling washed over me, like I was being watched. I quickened my pace, desperate to reach the warmth and safety of my cozy little apartment. But that eerie sensation persisted no matter how fast I walked. Just as I turned onto my street, I caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye. A figure, tall and slender, darted behind a row of houses. My heart skipped a beat as I tried to make sense of what I had seen. It couldn't be real, could it? Monsters don't exist. But curiosity crept up inside me, and against my better judgment, I followed the fleeting shadow, my footsteps muffled by the thick layer of snow beneath me. The cold wind bit at my cheeks as I ventured deeper into the darkness, my heart beating wildly against my chest. As I approached an old abandoned warehouse, an overwhelming sense of dread surged through me. The air grew heavy with an otherworldly presence, and a bone-chilling silence enveloped the surroundings. I hesitated for a moment, contemplating turning back, but something compelled me to press on. Inside the dilapidated building, I found myself in a vast chamber, its walls covered in layers of ice and frost. The air was frigid, and my breath hung in front of me like a ghostly specter. I could hear the sound of my own heartbeat echoing through the empty space. Suddenly, a low growl reverberated through the room, causing the hair on the back of my neck to stand on end. I spun around, searching for the source of the sound, and that's when I saw it. Emerging from the shadows was a creature unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Its body was covered in matted fur, its eyes glowed with an unnatural intensity. It stood on two legs, towering over me, its long claws glistening with frost. I stumbled backward, my mind reeling in disbelief, trying to comprehend the impossible. This couldn't be real. It had to be some sort of hallucination brought on by the harsh Alaskan winter. But as the creature advanced towards me, its growls growing louder and more menacing, I knew that there was no waking up from this nightmare. Terrified, I turned and ran, my footsteps echoing through the chamber. The creature pursued me relentlessly, its heavy breaths reverberating through the icy air. Panic surged through my veins as I desperately tried to find an exit, but the maze-like corridors seemed to stretch endlessly. Just as I felt my strength waning, I stumbled upon a small door covered by a thin layer of ice. With a surge of adrenaline, I pushed it open and stumbled out into the blinding snowstorm. The freezing wind whipped against my face as I sprinted away from that cursed warehouse, never looking back. Ever since that night, I've become a recluse, haunted by the memory of that encounter. I now know that monsters exist, lurking in the shadows of our world. And if you ever find yourself in Alaska, beware of the cryptids that roam these icy lands. For there are things out there that defy explanation, things that should never be seen,